The death of Cnut the Great in 1035 marked a significant turning point in the history of England and Scandinavia. Cnut, a Danish king who ruled over a North Sea empire that included England, Denmark, Norway, and parts of Sweden, had established a powerful and prosperous reign. His passing set off a series of political shifts, challenges to the throne, and power struggles that would reshape the landscape of Northern Europe. Understanding the life, rule, and legacy of Cnut the Great is essential to appreciating the magnitude of the changes that followed his death. Cnut's life and ascent to power were emblematic of the turbulent, war-driven times of early 11th century Europe. Born around 995, he was the son of Sweyn Forkbeard, a formidable Danish king. Sweyn had begun a campaign to conquer England, which had suffered from Viking raids for decades. Following Sweyn's death in 1014, Cnut sought to continue his father's ambitions. After a protracted struggle that included defeating Edmund Ironside, the son of King Evil the Unready, at the Battle of Asanden in 1016, Cnut became the King of England. This victory was crucial not only for Cnut's personal power but for establishing a new era in Anglo-Saxon England. By 1018, Cnut had also secured his position as King of Denmark, and in 1028, he conquered Norway, uniting these territories into what came to be known as the North Sea Empire. As ruler, Cnut exhibited a political acumen that helped consolidate his authority over his vast realm. He established a balanced approach, blending Danish and Anglo-Saxon customs and laws, which helped him maintain order and win the support of his English subjects. He enacted laws that aimed to protect the church and maintain peace, reflecting his commitment to Christian values, a somewhat unusual trait for a Viking leader. Cnut also displayed respect for England's Anglo-Saxon heritage, marrying Emma of Normandy, widow of Evil the Unready, and aligning himself with the Christian Church, earning him the respect of his subjects and a reputation as a fair and effective ruler. Under Cnut, England experienced relative stability and prosperity. He fostered trade across the North Sea and protected his lands from the raiding and violence that had characterized previous decades. The wealth he brought to England and Denmark allowed him to commission impressive building projects and endow churches. Cnut's reign also included reforms in administration. He appointed loyal officials and managed the land with a system that balanced the interests of his Scandinavian and English subjects, integrating them into a cohesive political structure. The connections he fostered between England, Denmark, and Norway strengthened his empire economically and culturally, establishing a brief but significant period of unity among these territories. However, Cnut's death on November 12, 1035, left a void that proved challenging to fill. His death set off a power struggle, as his empire lacked a clear successor capable of managing the complexities of a multi-regional empire. Cnut had two legitimate sons, Harthacnut and Harold Harefoot, but neither was in a position to immediately assume control. Harthacnut, the son of Cnut and Emma of Normandy, had been groomed as the heir to the throne, but he was in Denmark dealing with local challenges at the time of his father's death. Meanwhile, Harold Harefoot, Cnut's son from an earlier relationship, remained in England and was able to claim the throne with the support of some English nobles. This succession crisis split the North Sea Empire and weakened its cohesion. In England, Harold Harefoot eventually claimed the throne in 1037, while Harthacnut held on to Denmark. Meanwhile, Norway fell under the control of Magnus I, ending Danish rule there. The disintegration of Cnut's empire revealed the limits of the North Sea Empire's durability without its founding monarch. Cnut had been a unifying force, and without him, the cultural, political, and geographic divisions among England, Denmark, and Norway resurfaced. The implications of Cnut's death were particularly profound for England. Harold Harefoot's reign was marked by instability and conflict, and when Harthacnut eventually returned to reclaim the throne in 1040, England saw a resurgence of violence and tension. The difficulties faced by Cnut's successors underscored the challenges of ruling a multi-regional empire, and by 1042, Cnut's death marked the end of Cnut's lineage on the English throne. This void set the stage for the rise of Edward the Confessor, a figure whose reign would ultimately lead to the Norman conquest of 1066. In retrospect, Cnut the Great's death serves as an illustrative case of the fragility of empires forged through conquest and personal charisma. Cnut's life and rule had brought a measure of unity and prosperity to Northern Europe that was rare for its time, yet this unity was heavily dependent on his own leadership and ability to manage the diverse regions under his control. His death catalyzed a return to regionalism and political fragmentation, highlighting the challenges of sustaining a vast empire across different cultural and linguistic groups without a strong, central figure at the helm. The events following Cnut's death had long-lasting repercussions, especially for England, which would soon face another invasion and a monumental shift in governance with the Norman conquest. The dissolution of the North Sea Empire following Cnut's death in 1035 offers a timeless lesson on the complexities of empire building, the challenges of succession, and the inevitability of change following the loss of a powerful and unifying leader. Cnut's life and death remain a fascinating study in leadership, empire, and legacy, one that shaped the course of English and Scandinavian history for centuries to come. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe to Medieval Chronicles 1066 for more journeys back to the Middle Ages. Stay curious.